What's up guys, Mickle here, and Ripple just took a loss in the Ripple SEC case. Yes, I repeat, Ripple just took a loss. Guys, we have not seen Ripple take many losses in this case. In this video, I want to break down what exactly that loss was and what that means going forward. I also want to talk about some extremely bullish news involving the Federal Reserve and the XRP price chart. Guys, it seems like everything is lining up perfectly for the bullish 2024 scenario I have been talking about. In this video, I want to talk about some breaking new data that we just got that I think could send XRP to all-time new highs. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and is subscribed to my channel. It really does help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So let's jump into it, and first we need to talk about Ripple's loss to the SEC in the case, because this is getting a lot of attention right now, and I want to break down exactly what it means. So it's important to understand that right now we are in the discovery phase of the case. That means right now, Ripple and the SEC are fighting over what information they get to use for the second half of the Ripple SEC case. I know it's so annoying. We were in discovery forever in the original part of the case. Now we're back in discovery. But the good news is this part of the case is moving a lot faster, and regardless of all of this stuff, we're still expecting this case to end in 2024. So let's talk about what the SEC actually just won. The SEC just won a discovery battle where Ripple needs to release their financial information that essentially they have obtained since the start of the Ripple SEC case. During the original part of the Ripple SEC case, the SEC essentially only got financial information that pertained to Ripple's early years up until when the case was filed. So now the SEC wants all the current financial information. So Judge Torres today issued that Ripple needs to hand over the current financial information. Now, some people are saying this is a massive loss for Ripple. This is a huge loss for XRP holders, but personally, I don't think it's a huge loss at all. If anything, it's going to give us a lot of transparency on how Ripple's business has been doing, what Ripple has been up to in the United States, who Ripple has been selling to. Does Ripple have any new customers? In my eyes, this is going to be a huge benefit to XRP holders. Now, if Ripple is doing scammy things, which obviously I don't think they are, this entire Ripple SEC case, they have never done anything to make me question them. But if they are doing things like that, we'll learn about it. So I don't really see this as a big loss at all to XRP holders or anyone invested in Ripple. Now, Ripple didn't want to hand over this information, probably because technically the SEC might be able to use certain parts to bolster their case, but likely what we know is Ripple has won on almost every major issue in this case. What we have seen throughout this entire Ripple SEC case is that Judge Torres and Judge Netburn like to hand the SEC a small win here or there. They like to hand the SEC a small discovery battle win, and then when it comes down to the big wins, the decisions that actually matter, she normally leans in favor of Ripple. So I really do believe that this is one of those examples of Judge Netburn and Judge Torres just giving the SEC a little win to keep them happy. This way, later down the road, the SEC can't say, oh, well, you refused to show us this information. That's why we lost. This is why we need to appeal it, because we never got this critical information. Judge Torres and Judge Netburn, rightfully so, are giving the SEC all the information they want. But the good news is Ripple, since day one, has been a responsible actor, a responsible business, and therefore it hasn't mattered what information the SEC has gotten because they're yet to use it in a way that actually hurts Ripple, the company. So overall, my thoughts are that this loss is no big deal for Ripple or XRP holders. We're likely actually going to learn a lot of very interesting information from this for the stuff that's not redacted on just how Ripple's business is doing. Now, it would be really nice to see some super bullish developments that Ripple essentially hasn't announced yet in their business in these documents, because that's how this would actually be a very good scenario for Ripple and XRP holders. But likely, I feel like most of that stuff will actually get redacted either way. But the important thing to note is this is just a small win for the SEC, one that the SEC has kind of gotten throughout this case. Like I said earlier, Judge Torres and Judge Netburn like to give the SEC these small discovery wins, make it look like they're giving the SEC every chance they can to prove their case. But the good news for us is so far the SEC has absolutely failed to prove any case to the court, and I don't think that's going to be any different here. I want to move on though and talk about some very interesting data we got from the Federal Reserve, because in my eyes, this is making me extremely bullish and really painting the picture for the thesis I have been talking about for multiple months now on this channel. On this channel, I have been saying that the Federal Reserve is likely going to cut rates before we get to 2% inflation on the government data. And the reason I have been saying this is because all the leading indicators, right, say inflation is already under 2%. Truflation is a website and organization we have been following very closely on this channel, and I've been showing you guys consistently that they already have inflation at 1.35%. Well below the Federal Reserve's target. So one of the biggest things that people have been speculating on is the Federal Reserve going to keep rates high until they get to 2% inflation on the government data, or are they going to say, okay, the government data is lagging, therefore we need to start cutting rates before we get to 2% on the government data? And we actually found out from Jerome Powell just the other night in a 60 Minutes interview that he is going to start cutting rates before inflation gets to 2% on the government data. This is massively bullish because right now on the government data, we're at 3% already. So if we're already at 3% and Jerome Powell says we're going to start cutting before we get to 2%, that means rate cuts are right around the corner. I have already talked in great detail on this channel why I believe rate cuts are going to be so critical for the cryptocurrency market, but essentially just to sum it up real quick, no big investment advisor wants to invest in a high risk asset like cryptocurrencies in a high interest rate environment. High interest rates mean uncertainty, it means safety, it means people want to invest in very safe asset classes. That is not the cryptocurrency market. Low interest rates means highly speculative environments, a lot of growth companies, a lot of growth assets, which is perfect for cryptocurrencies. I really do believe we are on the precipice of the Federal Reserve cutting rates back down to the levels we have seen over the past 5 to 10 years, and I think that is going to be massively bullish for allowing cryptocurrencies to reach their long-term potential. I think it's going to bring in a ton of new capital and catapult cryptocurrencies to their all-time highs. So overall, what I'm trying to show you here is that everything is going to plan. These are the kinds of things we have been talking about on this channel consistently for months now. Everyone else was saying inflation is going to come back. The Federal Reserve is going to keep hiking rates. Guys, that is not what has happened. The exact opposite has happened. Inflation has plummeted despite what everyone has said. And also the Federal Reserve is now admitting they are right around the corner from rate cuts. This is exactly what we have been talking about. It is so nice to see it all playing out. Overall, just wanted to show you this because I think it paints a really good picture for 2024. So now I want to finish this video off and just quickly talk about the XRP price chart, because there are a lot of people saying that the XRP price chart is dead now. Essentially, XRP has broke through resistance. I just want to show you got to be careful of what chart you're looking at, who's showing you the chart, because everyone can draw a different chart showing XRP is at support, XRP is at resistance, but what I am seeing is XRP is still above the critical level. I think it's fairly obvious that if we draw a line underneath here, we can see that XRP has bounced off this bottom support line so many times throughout its history. I think it's fairly obvious we have some kind of ascending support here, and it looks like to me XRP is still well above this. Now, I really want to see XRP stay above this and move towards the top back up to this resistance. I think that would be extremely bullish. Now, so far, we haven't gotten that big bounce, but hopefully with some good developments around the corner, we can see that bounce right there. Who knows what's going to cause it? The thing we don't want to see is we don't want to see XRP fall out of here. That would be a very bad sign. Now, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. Obviously, we're going to feel a lot more comfortable when XRP is pushing back up on this resistance rather than leaning on this support down here. But as far as I see it right now, XRP really is finding a lot of support where it is right now. It seems like we have seen a lot of mini sell-offs in the cryptocurrency market over the last couple days, and XRP is kind of just bouncing off this support line. So overall, I just want to see XRP stay above this thing. Until then, I'm really not worried in the slightest. As I see it, really over the past year or two, XRP has really just put up noise on the chart. There hasn't been really any significant price movement. In my eyes, we're really just trading sideways, waiting for XRP's big explosion to the upside. What we know is XRP typically moves fast and it prices people out immediately. XRP typically moves sideways for long periods of time before that event happens. When that event is going to happen, no one knows the answer to, but what we know is we have been trading sideways for a very long period of time now with massive increases in the fundamentals of Ripple, the company, and XRP, the asset, automated market makers, clawbacks, new exchange listings, Ripple working with different governments to build CBDCs, thing after thing after thing has been a bullish development for XRP and Ripple, the company. Eventually, I think all that gets priced in a rapid way. Hopefully that starts with XRP pushing off this support, breaking this resistance, and catapulting to all-time new highs. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to talk to me on a daily basis, you want my opinions on more things other than XRP or specific things around XRP, make sure to check out my private group. Link is in the description of this video. All you have to do is subscribe to my X account. It will give you access to a private X account where you can DM me free of all the other DMs in my inbox, so we'll always see it. Anyway, though, guys, thank you so much for coming, and for now, Mickle out.